All right, we are here. The quarterfinals of IEM Rio have just wrapped up. Let's talk about those results. We had Na'Vi taking on Virtus Pro, followed up by Mouse versus Vitality. Could Virtus Pro continue their run through the group stage and show some improved form against a Na'Vi that has looked more vulnerable than usual? And could Mouse reach out and for once and for all beat the stage choking allegations against Vitality? We had two incredible series to go through today, and we are all set for the semifinal action going on tomorrow. Who would be facing Furia? Who will be facing Heroic? Let's not waste any more time and figure it out. So make sure you guys take a second, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It helps out immensely in the YouTube algorithm, so thank you for doing it. Also, follow me on twitch.tv/LionheartCS2. I stream Sunday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come on by, drop me a follow, let's hang out, and let's go ahead and start talking about this first series. I hate to have to do it, you know? I tried to offer an olive branch. I tried to see the positive in things and look for a light at the end of a tunnel, and I thought maybe we were just starting to see a glimpse of it, you know? Virtus Pro, they've been awful. They've been untenably bad for most of this year. And then they rock up here to IEM Rio, James looking like Jesus himself, Rio embracing him for it. And you know, listen, it wasn't the easiest run through the group stage, but there were glimpses of hope, signs of change on the horizon, reflection from James himself that maybe VP could turn the corner. I mean, the pieces on paper, as we've said many times, good enough, great even, but thus far unable to produce in big situations. But even then, they had a chance, and I will stand by that. Na'Vi, for all of their greatness, for all of their success, are a flawed team. They have gaping wounds in their map pool, ready to be exploited by anybody. And VP, they got it. They got exactly what you would want. They got Na'Vi onto Inferno for the first game of this series. A chance to strike out and get a blow against a juggernaut team and potentially put them on the back rope in a best-of-3 series. And you mean to tell me that Virtus Pro couldn't win more than 4 goddamn rounds against arguably the worst Inferno team in the top 10? Oh wait, my bad, except for Virtus Pro. You mean to tell me, in the year of our Lord 2024, in MR12, Virtus Pro won both goddamn pistol rounds and only won 4 rounds total. Ooh, Virtus Pro. I will never, I can't believe I keep falling for this from you guys. I keep on saying there's nothing redeemable about this team. You should never bet on Virtus Pro. In time again, you guys, James, you guys rock up to a tournament every once in a while, and you show glimpses of the potential that we all see. Electronic sometimes looks like a competent player, showing signs of the major winner in the past, and then you rock up to games that matter and shit the bed. Plain and simple, you guys made Na'Vi look like arguably one of the best Inferno teams in the world. I don't know how. I don't know what I expected, but it was more than this. Now, fair play. We move on to Ancient, and this is a closer game. 13-11, Na'Vi still wins in the end because they're a better team, but honestly, I feel like the score is kind of lying to us a little bit, because once again, down the stretch, Virtus Pro's T-side couldn't do fuck all of anything. They won 7 of their CT rounds. They kept the Na'Vi attack honest in the first half, I'll give you that. You know, fair play. But here's the thing, you let Na'Vi run off a string of 8 rounds through the end of the first half and into the second. It took you 6 rounds in to the CT side to barely squeak out a win, and all over the place, just letting JL clutch at will. Just not able to convert 1v2s. Back-to-back rounds that you should have won. JL just takes away from you, and that would have been a difference maker. Those 2 rounds in the middle of the game where JL clutches both times, literally, if you win those rounds, the game is over. But no, you couldn't do it. James had 14 kills in the first half. Second half, 4. The only rounds you guys managed to get over the board are when Electronic and Norbert play out of their minds on the T side to get ridiculous entries. Other than that, nothing going. A couple of times you push B and just don't even clear the site. Just twice you let Alexi B and JL clear you out from backside, not even clearing pillar. Ridiculously lazy. Oh man, Virtus Pro, James, you might be right. I don't think opping and IGLing works. And listen, Na'Vi, they simply did what they needed to. Emma dominated on Inferno, JL was incredible on Ancient. As usual, like any great team, they may have looked a little bit shaky in the group stage, but when it came to serious games in the playoffs, Na'Vi looked like a different beast, which gave them a clean as could be 2-0 victory and a spot in the semifinals. Fuck Virtus Pro. Moving on to what is by far the more interesting of the two series, and probably the best series of the event thus far, we had Vitality taking on MOUZ. And honestly, this was an electric series. I think we got pretty much all that we could ask for. ZywOo was tapped in throughout the majority of this. MOUZ, they look a little shaky on the opener on Mirage, but then they rallied back with two very close victories, 11-13 and 10-13 respectively, on Nuke and Inferno, to steal a victory from Vitality. And when you consider the rest of the field, Vitality were looking at pretty much a guaranteed grand finals if they beat MOUZ here. Instead, MOUZ, they beat the stage allegations, at least in this case. They power through a difficult series, they take down the number 2 team in the world, playing great Counter-Strike themselves, and land a date against Furia tomorrow. Getting into it, honestly, Mirage was a very short tale to tell here, because Vitality fired out the gates on all cylinders. They pretty much ran MOUZ over 13-7, and the first place we're going to start, of course, is ZywOo himself, because my biggest worry when Vitality gets into these big series is that sometimes ZywOo can be a bit complacent, a bit slow to start, sometimes he doesn't rise to the occasion like other star players have in the past. But here, at least in this game, he starts off on a crazy hot streak. He ends up with like 13 kills halfway through the first half. He's getting multis with the pistols, with picked up AKs, he's good on the op, and he's absolutely ruining MOUZ at all points of attack, be it through mid, rotating to B, rotating to A, and they have MOUZ playing scared. And that's the big thing. MOUZ took a while to kind of come into their own and get some confidence up to start taking rounds and taking space authoritatively, because Vitality were so overwhelming in these early rounds. Right behind ZywOo, Mezzi was equally excellent on this first map, great anchoring, multi-kills out the ass, and that combination pretty much allowed Vitality to snowball momentum in this MR12 format to take this first map very cleanly. An interesting thing to note as we head into Nuke here is that MOUZ are pretty much retooling their entire playbook coming into this event. They're operating an entirely new system to try and reinvent themselves in a way without making a roster move so that they can try and get back into the form we've seen in the earlier year. We heard some comms during the stream about that on Mirage, how no one knows what their playbook is, they just have to execute it, and to me it seems like they just ran out of time to execute that vision on Mirage. You fall behind early, and MR12 leaves so little breathing room that they couldn't get to the point where they could try and execute that vision. I think MOUZ for the rest of the series looked way tighter, more confident in their execution, and it definitely paid dividends. We move on to Nuke. They start off on the CT side with a 6-round streak, completely neutralizing the Vitality attack, and they managed to weather some pretty tricky situations really well, like here on round 3 where Vitality get a lot of work out of the hero AK buy on ZywOo, nearly taking the round on the lower bomb site, but the retake was efficient, the trades were just clinical from MOUZ, and they managed to get the defuse in time. Also, gotta give the nod to Xerxin. His play anchoring around mini and outside throughout this first half was really excellent, and again, also really good in those retake situations like here on round 6, where he's instrumental to get those final 2 picks alongside Jimfat to get the defuse. Now, of course, it wasn't just going to be a clean 13-0, Vitality would never allow that to happen, and keep in mind that coming into this map, Vitality were previously 9-0 thus far on Nuke, so obviously it's a map they're very comfortable on. It's true it took them a while to get going on the T side, but once they got it, they only held MOUZ to one more round to win out the half. And a lot of it just came from good contact plays. Both of these teams love to operate in the mid-round playoff reads and contact, so we had a lot of sloppy rounds that come down to 4v3s, 3v3 situations, at which point it comes down to individual excellence for who's going to come away with the round. Here on round 7, ZywOo with the double pick on outside late in the round helps them get on the board. And of course, both of these teams live to win clutch situations. Here at the last round of the half, MOUZ have forced up everything they can, and of course, everything they have at this point is just a bunch of MP9s and one FAMAS. Shout out to my FAMAS cells out there, real ones know just how strong that gun is. Use the FAMAS, it's actually good, I promise. Anyways, Vitality are going to work their way outside and down Secret, while Apex lurks outside of Mini and Spinks plays Lurk around Lobby and on T-Roof. As Vitality makes their way into the site, Jimmy and Brolin are going to do really well with the MP9s to trade out their comrades and take down all 4 Vitality players, leaving Spinks in a 1v2 on the upper bomb site with the bomb down, having to come through the vent for the clutch, and Spinks navigates it perfectly, taking care of Brolin and then finishing off Jimmy before the defuse could come in. Skipping ahead, we're deep in the game now, it's round 19, things have been going back and forth the entirety of the second half, and I'm telling you, these low man situations were just so exciting to watch play out live, because it really did boil down to just the smallest details for who would win and who wouldn't in the rounds. Like here, it's going to come down to a 2v2, Xerxion's going to be guarding vent, while JimFat gets the bomb down on upper, and then Xerxion has to guard the vent because Flames is playing with him on the ladder. Jimmy's going to rotate into hut to play post plant, but oh, there's ZywOo in lobby, catches him unawares for the free headshot, and then Flames continues to play with the ladder. Xerxion can't find the shot, gets shot at Squeaky from ZywOo, and the round goes to Vitality. If Flames gets caught in the dome one time, Xerxion can take that 1v1 more seriously. If JimFat doesn't rotate into hut, could be an entirely different round, but it's just those low man situations where you get to see who has the better read on the situation. And the fun part about these two teams is even if you break their economy, no lead is safe. Mouse have forced up. They got the hero AK on the back of JimFat. They're going to go for the fast upper, but they're going to throw the outside smokes and give Xerxion a chance to sneak through Mini. He gets this great timing to get a crucial double pick that immediately throws Vitality into a save. They can't afford to try a 3v5 retake on A. They need to hold the guns themselves. So immediately Mouse fire back an 11th round of their own after losing the clutch in the previous. And again, I can't stress this enough, these low man situations were so intense throughout the end of this game. We go into the very next round, we find ourselves in another 3v3 post-plant situation. Mouse are entrenched on the bottom bomb site, Brolin's up on the railing watching ramp, Shuhei is watching double doors, and Torji is coming up with the op out of dark. The problem for Vitality here simply is that they're not together. They're having to come at this from 3 different angles because they're all rotating from different areas of the map. And that just gives a free setup for Mouse to get 1v1 engagements and see who wins. And in this case, it was Mouse. They take match point. Vitality fire back 2-round wins of their own thereafter, but Mouse managed to close it out 13-11, pushing us to a final map on Inferno. And what a final map it turned out to be. Once again, Inferno, despite its issues, always being the grand closure, and Counter-Strike just never changes. Initially, this game looked like it was going to be a wash because Mouse walked out and knocked Vitality in the teeth to the tune of a 10-2 opening T-half. Now keep in mind, Vitality, one of the better Inferno teams in the world, ZywOo dominates with the op on both sides of the map, and normally their defense is very hard to deal with, but now Mouse ran them over. Unfortunately, it takes 2 to tango. We swap sides, and all of a sudden Vitality roar back to life and start winning round after round after round, and now it looks like Mouse might fall apart in the worst way possible. Xerxion was doing everything he could to keep this team afloat. Torji and Brolin were playing a little bit under what you would expect out of them, so Mouse needed themselves a hero named JimFat. 100% the MVP for Mouse in this game, because JimFat pretty much single-handedly won all 3 rounds on the second half for this team. The 3 rounds they needed to win the series were directly because of Jimmy. And we've been talking about Jimmy all year long as absolutely the best anchor in the world. And on Inferno, that is the truest test of how good of an anchor are you, because if you can hold the A site, if you can hold pit, it opens up the map entirely, because unless you invest a lot of resources, you can't really control apartments, you can't really control mid, and you need to invest a lot of utility to hold banana. So if you can't anchor pit, your Inferno is fraudulent. And Jimmy was fantastic in that regard, but not only that, he was incredibly clutch. The first round of the half that they won was off of the back of Jimmy winning a 1v2 against Vitality in a situation where they looked like they were going to throw it away. Apex with a huge double kill from Church, but Jimmy, as calm as can be, gets the trade, hops on the defuse, baits out the pick, and manages to get the defuse just in the nick of time. However, Vitality fire back with a 3-round streak of their own, bringing us to an 11-9 scoreline. And coming into this round, Vitality run a very smart play. They know Maus are cheating a third guy towards B in the beginning of the rounds to support the banana push, so they run a fast mid. They're quick up arch to start. They want to take A fast, and then they run into a brick wall named Jimmy. 3 incredible picks from the back of the short pit, shuts down the Vitality attack, and gives Maus the crucial match point. Vitality, of course, not backing down, win the next round pretty handily, forcing Maus into immediate save, and then things aren't looking good on the round after as Vitality explode into B and take the site with minimal effort, only a couple trades coming back and forth, Shuhei with a nice spray for the smoke to take one of his own, Zershing cheating through Church gets one back before he gets traded out, and the bomb goes down. Once again, we find ourselves in a 3v3 post-plan situation. And honestly, if you're Maus, a save here totally makes sense. B main just got resmoked, Church just got resmoked, the bomb is already ticking down. It's very hard to break into this B site when you don't have the utility on your side. But Jimmy says, hold on, I'll make way, nades open the smoke, catching everybody off guard, takes care of ZywOo, Apex peeks up from the pool, starts firing back, Jimmy gets the second pick right through the smoke, leaving Spinks in an untenable situation. He falls shortly thereafter, and Maus complete the reverse sweep, winning Inferno, knocking out Vitality, and securing that crucial spot in the semifinals. An incredible series from both teams. This wasn't an underperforming Vitality. ZywOo was amazing throughout. They got pretty much everything they wanted, but those key clutch situations, Maus time and again kept on finding victories. A well-earned victory for the squad that has struggled so much since the player break. Alright guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. We'll be back tomorrow with our semifinals recap, so you can be here around this same time, hopefully, to catch that video when it goes up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. These videos are powered by Advanced.gg. If you check the link in the description, browse their website, choose any of their excellent products, and decide to make a purchase, use my code LIONS10, powered up to 15% off all weekend long to celebrate the release of their Mango Dragon Fruit Hydration Formula. That's right, it's not just caffeine. You can also get great tasting hydration mixes, sleep mixes, they have multivitamins. They're an all-purpose kind of company. Thank you to Advanced.gg. Thank you also to Refrag. They are by far the best self-improvement platform in the game. If you want to take your Counter-Strike to the next level, check out Refrag. And if you enjoyed the product, you can get a Refrag subscription and use my code LION15 for 15% off. Thank you to Refrag. Shout out to my channel members, Justin, Jesse, Furley, Bubbles J, Dr. Coctor, and Milan Berta. If you want to support me directly, you can do so at the link in the description. Also, follow me on twitch.tv/LionheartCS2. I'll be live later tonight after this video, so come on by, drop me a follow, and hang out. Without any further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.